Hey everyone, it's Schmitty here. And before the video gets started, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, I just had a YouTube channel that had about 100 subscribers, and occasionally I made a couple videos just really for myself. I enjoyed editing, and I never really expected anyone to really watch them. Then Valheim comes around, and pretty much from the day it released on early access, I was playing it a bunch, and I'd seen the same comments were coming through on the subreddit asking the same sort of questions, and people were unsure about the same similar things. So I thought, why not make a quick little 5 base building tips video and put it on the subreddit, and hopefully I could help 1 or 2 people and answer their questions. Well, that video's now got over 200,000 views, and we've gone from 100 subs to 3,000 something. It's been amazing. It's been incredible. It's been just so cool to see people wanting to watch my content, things that I've put time and effort into and that people actually enjoy, and they're saying thank you and seeing all the positive comments of how I've inspired other people to build longhouses similar to mine, or just in general people are saying thank you for putting up Valheim content. It means a lot to me, and it really motivates me to continue going and continue doing this for you guys. So just want to say thank you. Now the other thing is I've also created a Discord community. I'm hoping this can be a community where we all hang out, we can talk Valheim, we can give each other advice, show off to each other our builds and things that we're proud of, or just generally hang out and play together. Eventually, I would like to create a community server where we can build the biggest, baddest Viking village as a community, and we can all jump on the server together. Maybe we can have teams where one team can be working on like the longhouse, one team could be working on the portals, one team could be working on the docks, for example, and have everyone working together to build the coolest, biggest, baddest Viking village we can. So if you think you might want to join, or you like that kind of stuff, or you just want to hang out, the link is in the description below. Again, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody. It's been amazing, and I want to keep going, and there's going to be a lot more Valheim content coming out. So thank you. All right, let's get to the video. So as I've been scrolling through my YouTube videos and reading the comments and generally responding to almost every single one as much as I can, one particular comment gave me a great idea, and that was to go back through all the comments and sort out some of the questions that had been popping up repetitively, or where I'd let the person know I was going to test and get back to them, and try to make a video where I answer all those questions. So I'd like to use this opportunity to clarify some of those questions that you guys had. Let's get to it. One comment that came up quite a bit was on my comfort levels video, and a lot of people were wondering what is the actual radius, or what is the distance that the effects last, and how close do you actually have to build the furniture together. So let's take a look. As you can see here, I've built a campfire right in the middle of a 10 by 10 house, and I put the campfire right in the middle with 1 meter beams going out of every corner, kind of acting like measuring sticks. The small posts represent 5 meters away, and the taller posts represent 10 meters away. So this gives you a good visualization of how far the comfort level goes. I tested it here, and it looks like it's about approximately 8 to 9 meters before you lose your comfort level. You can see if I step over the range here, I lose it. Once I step back in the circle, I get my comfort level back. So it's approximately 4 tiles away. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you might be able to squeeze a little bit extra before you see it disappears. Now if I step in just a bit, I'm about 4 tiles away. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So you can see I've got a different configuration here where I put the fire right in the corner with these 1 meter wooden beams going down as measuring sticks, and we've got 5 meters, 10 meters, 15, 20, and then 25 meters back. And what I've done here is I've also marked out the fire's comfort range, about 8 to 9 meters like we just said. So you'll see if I step out here, I lose the comfort range. So I know that this is within the fire's comfort range. Now what happens if we put, let's say, a bed down? You'll see my comfort now goes up to 4 because the bed's added 1 more comfort. However, if I step away, the bed doesn't extend the range any further because at the end of the day, it's still down to the fire's range of about 8 to 9 meters. So while the bed does actually increase the comfort level, it's still working off the fire's radius. Now, does that always mean you have to build things within the radius of the campfire? No, because the objects themselves have their own radius as well. So what we could do is break the bed here and actually build it on the backside away from the radius of the campfire. However, you'll notice our comfort is still 4. And that's because the bed itself has its own radius, and where I'm standing here is overlapping between the campfire's radius and the bed's radius, allowing you to enjoy the benefits of the campfire's comfort level as well as the bed's extra +1 comfort level. And you can see here, after a bit of testing, this spot right here is about 8 to 9 meters away. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just about 9 meters away from the campfire, and I'm still enjoying the comfort. And if we look at the bed is about 9 meters away as well from where I'm at now. So if you look now, we have our comfort level of 4, which means we are just within the radius of the bed. And I've tested this because I've moved the bed just a little bit further back and it doesn't work. The comfort goes back down to 3. So this is as far as the bed can be. Now what about the other objects, you might say? Now after some extensive testing, it seems like all the furniture items, the chairs, the bed, the throne, the table, the banners, the rugs, they all have a general radius of about 9 to 10 meters before you don't feel their comfort levels anymore. But for the dragon bed, it's just a little bit shorter at about 7 to 8 meters. I'm not sure why the dragon bed is just that tiny little bit shorter compared to everything else, but that's something worth noting. The next question that I see asked a lot is, do horizontal or angled beams actually add any stability at all to your base? So let's test that theory out. Again, I've got my 10 by 10 house here, and right now the middle section of the roof is being supported by these long 4-meter log poles, because without them, this middle section here would not have enough support. As you can see, it's already going orange. But if you look at right in the middle part here, the furthest away from any support system, they're dark orange roof tiles, because they are quite far away from these foundational pieces here, and they're also far away from the foundational walls over here. So what would happen if I added angled beams all along the roof? Would that support these roof tiles? Well, let's test it out. Let's go up top here, all the way down, right down to the very end here. And let's say we don't connect it at all. Let's just have the angled beams. You can see we still have that dark orange color. So just having angled beams like that make no difference. Now, what if we included the vertical posts that go underneath the angled beams to kind of connect them down to the ground and connect foundational pieces going up like this? Again, still orange. Ever so slightly lighter, so not as bad as what they were just now. However, really not that much difference, at least not enough to warrant you spending more wood building these wooden beams. And what if we connected it all the way over? Would that make a difference? We can try and connect it all the way down. Grab the wooden poles. Let's have a look. You see, still orange. Same goes for this side as well. Still dark orange. So that tells us that having these center pieces here doesn't really make a difference. And really that's because you're still having to count from here, where the foundational piece is, and up. And it'd be no different than just going from the wall. So really, you're not adding any more support because it's still taking that many pieces to get down to the foundational piece, whether it's the wall or the actual posts. So this is how we can tell lining the roofs with these angled beams really don't actually provide that much more support. Now someone might say, well, what if I had a horizontal beam going across, supporting either side? I could do that. Now you'll see the horizontal pieces go red straight away, and they're basically at their breaking limit because again, these actual pieces are quite far away from any nearby foundational pieces. So let's check the middle roof tiles. Well, again, orange and orange. I mean, they're again slightly lighter orange than if you didn't have any angled beams at all, but still not quite enough to really reinforce the structure and warrants using all this wood just to add a slight shade of difference. One question I've been asked is, what is the best location for a base? And I thought that was a good question to cover because I think this is important for a lot of new players to figure out. Especially, for example, if you spawn, you're deciding, should I just build a base immediately around where I spawn into the game when I first start out? Or should I explore a little further and build something further away? Now, I built my base out here near the ocean because I knew at some point we'd probably go sailing and I thought it would be important to build by the ocean. So that was one key factor myself. In hindsight, I built my base quite far from any nearby black forest biomes, and you can see here there's none here. This is all meadows area, and the nearest black forests are down here, or all the way up here in the north. If I had to do it again, I would probably make sure my base is still somewhere near on the coastline, but maybe closer to a black forest so that I can go in and out, as there are a lot of resources that are useful for you in the black forest compared to just being in the meadows. Now the question following up to that is, should I upgrade my first base and stick to that one, or just build a quick little small base and expect to explore and build a second larger base somewhere else? For me personally, I would say definitely don't get too attached to your first base because exploring is always good. Now after I had settled myself, I decided to go sailing and looking basically just to explore, I had found some swamp biomes further out, and then as I came down here to the south, I found this little area. And this is where I decided to build my treehouse, if you've seen the treehouse video, but primarily I decided to build a base here because of its location. It's near enough to the ocean, it's surrounded by black forest biomes without actually being anywhere near the black forest. There is still a bit of space and a bit of a buffer. It's pretty much right next to a swamp biome, and it's not too far away from a mountain biome if I want to travel out that way too. So for me, I haven't even explored anything out to the west yet, but right away, just within this radius here, this is a prime location for me because I've got about 3 different biomes all at my fingertips without having to travel very far. This will come in handy in the future, I'm sure, as I need to gather more materials and more resources, and if I'm farming materials, I won't have to travel as far with my cart. However, I would have never known this had I just stuck to my first base and pretty much hunkered down and committed and stayed there completely. This is why it's important not to get too attached to your first base, because by exploring, you can always find new and interesting areas. One question a lot of people have asked me, especially since my treehouse video came out, is how did you draw on the screen? What annotation tool did you use? Well, the tool is called Epic Pen. It's easy to download, it's free, and it allows me to draw on my own screen. So what I do when I stream is I simply just switch to my desktop capture, and I can show anyone watching what I'm seeing as I draw on top of my screen. And this really helps me visualize and plan things out, and it also really helps get chat involved as well, sort of getting them to understand what I mean when I'm describing things. Also, just because a lot of people are still asking, it's Control F3 to turn off the HUD. Alright guys, so that's some of the common questions and things that I said I would test out or figure out for you guys. I hope I've cleared up some confusion or some inaccuracies or just general things that people are unsure about. If you've got any more questions or just things that aren't too clear about Valheim that you want to know, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, or jump onto my Discord. There's a lot of people there that can help you out, and you might even get an answer much quicker, or we can figure it out together. Thanks for watching again. My name is Schmitty, and I'll see you guys next time.